Alright everyone, what is up here today YouTube? Jigsaw0097. Haven't made a video in a really long time. Just really been focused on other things outside of YouTube, but I figured I'd just weigh in on this, and I probably will make a better draft analysis video over this coming week. This quarantine has just been kind of crazy for making videos. I've been like boxed up with my roommates, and you know, we kind of, the boundaries have become like almost non-existent in many ways, so really just don't have a space or time to film videos. So if I do film videos, it's probably going to be in my room or in my car, like usual, but it'll be a little bit less frequently. But I wanted to talk about really the first two draft picks of the Eagles. I haven't had time to look at all of the players they got. From what I'm hearing, they actually kind of cleaned up in the later rounds, which is good. I think the Eagles had 8 draft picks overall, because they did trade some picks to the Lions to get Darius Slay. But from what I read, they did pretty well in the later rounds from like 3 onward, but the first 2 rounds are questionable, especially the first round. I really paid attention to that one. I'm glad they got I'm glad they got a wide receiver, but I thought they should have got like Justin Jefferson or maybe like a linebacker, even a linebacker or a cornerback, you know, some really good defense. But they ended up going with JALEN, which I looked him up. He's a pretty decent receiver, but honestly, he just reminds me of like Aguilar. He looks like another project guy, you know. I think that was the last time the Eagles took a wide receiver in the first round, was Nelson Aguilar. So I don't know. The Eagles just still made an Eagles move on that one, in my opinion, and time will tell how good Rager actually is. But that one was whatever. The second pick was what really, you know, I hate to say I'm right, guys, but, you know, this is what I predicted with Carson Wentz. They picked a quarterback, Jalen Hurts. And long on this channel, I've talked about my concerns with Carson Wentz's, you know, health. And it's just based on how I saw it, you know. I don't really pick favorites with players. And so I was always able to look at Carson Wentz critically. And I just saw, especially after 2018, I just saw a dude that was not there, you know. And then Nick Foles came in 2018 and led us into the playoffs again. So I'm thinking, you know, it really might be just a Wentz thing. And so, as you guys know, last season he got injured in the Seahawks game, which really wasn't his fault. I'm not going to blame him for that. It was freaking stupid Jadeveon Hines Ward 2.0 Clowney, you know, smacking him down when he was down. And Ward has a habit for being dirty like that. So, Clowney. Clowney's been a pretty dirty player, in my opinion, ever since he's came into the league. And so, you know, there was a lot of question marks going into this draft. I really didn't think they would get a quarterback, guys. I didn't think they were going to draft a quarterback. I thought this was going to be the draft where they really just tried to load the box with talent. You know, this would be like the year where they're just like, all right, we're just going to throw everything we can at Wentz this year, give him so many options that he doesn't even know what to do with them all, and see how he does. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to make a full draft analysis because I don't really know all the players. I haven't sat down and analyzed what they got after the second round. Like I said, I've heard from many sources that he actually, or Howie Roseman did pretty good like overall. Like the overall grade of the draft was positive, like an A- or something like that. But I didn't think they were going to get a quarterback. Jalen Hurts, I looked him up. He is a pretty decent quarterback, honestly. He has things about him that I don't like, you know. He's a running quarterback, which I don't really like those quarterbacks. He kind of reminds me of a mix between like Kyler Murray and maybe like Dak Prescott. You know, he's not bad. He looks like pretty middle of the road. I know Kyler Murray is actually pretty good, but running quarterbacks for me, they don't last. So Kyler Murray may be good now, but his longevity. Same with Lamar Jackson. Like guys like that, I just don't see them lasting. And so really, Jalen Hurts, he was brought in kind of as a light the fire under Wentz kind of player is the way I look at it, which is what I said, guys. I said that Carson Wentz was getting too comfortable in Philadelphia. They were throwing the money at him. They were giving him the guaranteed role. Like one of the worst mistakes they ever made was after the Super Bowl, or no, it was 2018 when they went up and said Carson Wentz is our starting quarterback. Like they didn't even leave the option open for Nick Foles coming back in 2019 to possibly create some competition there. They just gave the team to the kid. And really, if you think about it, Wentz had that one magical half season called 2017, and he didn't do anything since. So this was always the Eagles' mistake. And I think that them drafting this quarterback is just like, that's what it says to me. It doesn't say Wentz isn't the guy. It just says, you better get your act together, Wentz, or, you're done. I think 2022 is when the Eagles could actually move on from Wentz if he doesn't work out. So he's got like 2 years now is the way I'm looking at it, which is not what I thought they would do. I thought they were going to go all out on Wentz this year, and then if he failed next year, they were going to try to like bring in his replacement, but they brought him into, and I don't know, that using a second round pick was just, there's so many positions they could have filled instead of a quarterback, but I guess they don't have faith in Sudfeld, and, they brought in McCown last year, and, he was just too old, so they've realized what I've kind of said all along. Like if Wentz goes down, which is very likely these days, then they're kind of screwed. So they needed to go out and get someone that could come in and play at that level. But again, if they could have just found a way to keep Nick Foles around in 2019 and maybe not jumped the gun on paying Wentz, we would probably have a lot clearer of a picture right now, in my opinion, of what Wentz actually is, because they just had a goal that the Eagles had one of the best quarterback situations I've ever seen at the end of the Super Bowl. So I don't think they handled that well, and we'll just have to see what happens with Hurts. But that's really my opinion on the first 2 draft picks. I don't think they're bad. Like I'm not coming on here to say that they're bad like most of the Eagles fans are. Like they're what they are. I mean, the quarterback one was it made me laugh when I first saw it, and it was pretty stupid, but like the more I thought about it, I was like, this is it though. Like this is what they think of Wentz, and honestly, it's the truth. Like Wentz is not really like reliable right now. We don't know what he is. We still don't. I mean, it's crazy to say. He's been in the league since 2016, 4 freaking years, and we still don't really know what he can do. Like we've never seen him in the playoffs. I don't count the Seahawks game as playoff experience because he played like 4 snaps and he got injured. So. And then the Dallas Cowboys, they had an amazing draft. So, like, I don't know. The Eagles are going to have a tough time getting to the playoffs again. Their window, in my opinion, closed. Like, 2018 was really, like, it closed when Alshon Jeffrey dropped the ball against the Saints. But, like, it's really closed now, in my opinion. And I don't know what the Eagles are going to do to get in the playoffs. I mean, we'll just have to see. The Redskins are getting fresh. The Giants are getting fresh. Like, this division is not going to just be, like, a weak division anymore. I think it's going to start balancing out similar to like an NFC South or something like that. So that's just my opinion, guys. I'll make another video probably this week and talk about what I think overall about the draft. I really haven't been paying attention to the Eagles. I've had a lot of other stuff on my mind, so I'll have to really take a nice look at what they are, what they have, before and after. I know they brought in Marquise Goodwin, which that's going to be a good move. Honestly, that reminds me of like a Torrey Smith type move. So we'll just have to see. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think about these 2 first-round picks, Jalen Reagor and Jalen Reagor, Jalen Hurts. Howie has the hots for Jalen's. I mean, he tried to get Jalen Ramsey last year. We got Jalen Mills. There's too many Jalens on the Eagles and discussed around the Eagles. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And yeah, with that said, this has been Jigsaw097. I will talk to you all later.